Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into 12 powerful strategies to engage your community in activism and make a real difference, specifically tailored to the wonderful people of Stockton. Now I know what you're thinking. Cord, activism, in this economy, with these gas prices? And to that I say you're absolutely right to be skeptical. It's tough out there, but that's exactly why we need to work together to make Stockton even better than it already is. Look, Stockton is a city with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and frankly some pretty damn delicious food. But like any city, it also faces its share of challenges. But here's the thing about Stockton. It's also a city brimming with passionate people who care deeply about their community. And that, my friends, is where you come in. Whether you've been a lifelong Stocktonian, or you just moved here for the incredible food scene, and who could blame you, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of this city. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore some practical, and dare I say inspiring ways to channel your energy and ideas into making a tangible difference in Stockton. We're talking about turning those "someone should really do something about that" grumbles into a resounding "we can do this together." So buckle up, grab a pen and paper, or open your notes app, because things are about to get civically engaging in here. Let's get started. First things first. Let's talk about the magic of a good old-fashioned community gathering. We're talking town halls where everyone gets a voice, workshops bursting with ideas, and rallies that would make even the most cynical amongst us feel a glimmer of hope. These events aren't just about finger sandwiches and awkward small talk, although, let's be honest, those can happen too. The real power lies in their ability to bring people together, to spark conversations, and to remind us that we're all in this together. Think of it like this. Stockton is essentially a giant potluck of awesomeness, and community events are the tables we gather around. We share our stories, our concerns, and our hopes for the future, all while maybe sneaking a few extra egg rolls when no one's looking. It's about fostering a sense of solidarity, of knowing that your voice matters and that together we can actually get things done. And if that doesn't inspire you to put on your community organizing hat, I don't know what will. Now I know what you're thinking. Cord, social media is a cesspool of negativity and endless arguments about which Spider-Man movie is the best. For the record, it's Spider-Man 2, and I will not be taking further questions at this time. But hear me out, because when used strategically, social media can be a force for good. We're talking about harnessing the power of hashtags to amplify your message, rallying support with strategically placed Instagram stories, and maybe, just maybe, convincing Mark Zuckerberg to use his powers for good for once. Think of it like this. Every like, share, and comment is a tiny act of digital activism. It's about spreading awareness, mobilizing your fellow Stocktonians, and showing the powers that be that we're paying attention. So, the next time you're scrolling through your feed and you stumble upon an issue that gets you fired up, don't just seethe in silence. Share that post, tag your friends, and let's get the digital conversation and hopefully some real-world change flowing. Now I'm not saying that you have to single-handedly solve all of Stockton's problems on your own. In fact, that's a terrible idea. Please don't do that. This isn't a superhero movie despite what my incredible physique might suggest. Real change requires teamwork. And luckily, Stockton is full of incredible organizations, schools, and businesses already doing amazing work. We're talking about joining forces with local community groups, partnering with schools to empower the next generation of activists, and maybe even convincing a local business or two to offer discounts for anyone who shows up to a city council meeting. Look, when we pool our resources, share our expertise, and work together, we amplify our impact exponentially. It's like the time I tried to build a treehouse by myself. Spoiler alert, it did not go well. But when I finally swallowed my pride and asked my neighbor for help, turns out, knowing how to use a power drill is actually quite useful. We built that treehouse in record time. And yes, it was glorious. The point is, we can achieve so much more when we work together. Now, I know what you're thinking. Petitions? Cord? Those things never work. They're just a way for me to feel like I'm making a difference while I sit on my couch in my pajamas, scrolling through cat memes. And to that, I say first of all, how dare you judge my life choices, but also, you're not entirely wrong. Petitions alone won't solve systemic issues. Shocking, I know. However, when done right, they can be a powerful tool for demonstrating community support and holding those in power accountable. Think of it like this. Every signature on a petition is a voice added to a chorus demanding change. It's a way to show your elected officials that this isn't just a handful of people complaining on Twitter, although again, no judgment here. This is a groundswell of support for a particular issue, and ignoring it would be like ignoring a swarm of bees wearing tiny "Listen to the People" t-shirts. And trust me, you don't want to be the one who has to explain to those bees why their demands were ignored. Now hold on to your hats, folks, because this next one might just blow your mind. Education is important. I know it's a radical concept, but bear with me. See, knowledge is power, and the more informed we are about the issues facing Stockton, the better equipped we are to address them. We're talking about workshops on civic engagement that would make even the most jaded bureaucrat shed a tear, seminars on social justice that leave you feeling fired up and ready to dismantle the system, and advocacy skills training that would make even the most soft-spoken wallflower transform into a roaring lion of community action. Think of it like this: each workshop is like giving a superhero a new gadget. Sure, they could probably still fight crime with their bare hands, but wouldn't it be cooler if they had like a grappling hook that also dispenses free Wi-Fi? Just me? Okay, moving on. The point is, when we empower individuals with the knowledge and skills they need to make a difference, we create a ripple effect of positive change that can transform Stockton from the ground up. Now I know what you're thinking. Volunteering? Cord, I'm already working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. The only thing I have time to volunteer is my emotional support to my sourdough starter. And to that I say, fair enough. But before you dismiss the idea entirely, consider this. Volunteering isn't just about donating your precious time, it's about investing in your community. Think of it like this. Every hour you spend volunteering is like depositing a little bit of love and dedication into the Bank of Stockton. And trust me, the interest rates are way better than anything you'll find at those big corporate banks. Whether you're organizing events, knocking on doors, or just helping stuff envelopes, which, let's be real, is more exciting than it sounds, volunteers are the unsung heroes of community activism. They're the ones who show up, roll up their sleeves, and get things done, all while asking for nothing in return except maybe a free t-shirt and some lukewarm pizza. And honestly, who among us doesn't love a free t-shirt? Now let's get real for a moment, shall we? Facts and figures are important, but they don't always tug at the heartstrings, do they? Sometimes all it takes to spark a movement is a single, powerful story. We're talking about those raw, honest, and deeply personal experiences that remind us why we're fighting for change in the first place. Think of it like this. Every story shared is a seed of empathy planted in the fertile ground of our collective consciousness. It's about putting a human face on the issues, reminding people that these aren't just abstract problems, but real challenges faced by real people in our community. So the next time you're feeling disheartened, remember that your story has the power to move, to inspire, and to ignite the flames of change. Don't be afraid to share it, because you never know who might be listening and whose heart might be touched by your words. Now I know what you're thinking, Cord. I'm about as artistic as a bowl of lukewarm oatmeal. The only thing I'm capable of creating is a Spotify playlist full of 90s boy band ballads. And to that I say, first of all, excellent taste in music, but also, you underestimate the power of art to transcend boundaries and connect with people on a visceral level. We're talking about using art, music, and cultural events to engage the community in a way that nothing else can. Think of it like this. Art is the universal language that speaks to the soul. It has the power to break down barriers, to challenge perspectives, and to inspire action. So, whether it's a mural that brightens up a neglected corner of the city, a community theater production that tackles social issues head-on, or a poetry slam that gives voice to the voiceless, never underestimate the power of art to ignite change. Now let's talk about the future, shall we? Because frankly, it's looking pretty darn bright, thanks to the incredible young people in Stockton. We're talking about tapping into the energy, idealism, and fresh perspectives of the next generation of leaders, activists, and change-makers. Think of it like this. Young people are like the software updates of the human race. They're constantly evolving, adapting, and finding new and innovative ways to solve problems that we old folks haven't even thought of yet. So whether it's forming youth advisory boards, creating mentorship programs, or just listening to their ideas with open minds and hearts, let's empower young people to take the reins and shape the future of Stockton into something truly extraordinary. advocacy and policy change. Let's get political. Now I know what you're thinking. Politics? Cord, that's a contact sport best left to the professionals, like those people in those fancy suits who yell at each other on TV. And to that I say, you're not entirely wrong. Politics can be a messy, complicated business. But it's also the very foundation upon which our society is built, and if we want to see real, lasting change, we need to engage with it. We're talking about influencing local policies, making your voice heard at city council meetings, and generally being a thorn in the side of anyone who thinks they can ignore the needs of the community. Think of it like this. Every email you send to your elected officials, every public comment you make, every protest you attend, is a brick thrown at the wall of apathy and inaction. It's about holding those in power accountable, demanding better for our community, and reminding them that they work for us, not the other way around. So, let's channel our inner Leslie Knope and get to work making Stockton a more just, equitable, and awesome place to live, one policy change at a time. Sound the alarm awareness campaigns for the win. Now let's talk about the power of a good old-fashioned awareness campaign. We're talking about those eye-catching posters plastered on every available surface, those thought-provoking social media posts that make you stop and think, and those catchy slogans that worm their way into your brain and refuse to leave. Think of it like this. Awareness campaigns are like the alarm clocks of social change. They're designed to jolt us out of our complacency, to shine a spotlight on issues that demand our attention, and to remind us that even small actions can make a big difference. So, whether it's designing a killer infographic, organizing a flash mob, or just starting a conversation with your neighbor, let's get loud, get proud, and raise awareness about the issues that matter most to Stockton. Community cleanups. Because every little bit helps. Now let's wrap things up on a positive note, shall we? Because sometimes the most impactful actions are also the simplest. We're talking about rolling up our sleeves, grabbing some trash bags, and giving Stockton a much-needed makeover. We're talking about community cleanups, those glorious events where we come together to pick up litter, plant trees, and generally make our city a more beautiful and welcoming place to live. Think of it like this. Every piece of trash picked up, every tree planted, every park bench painted, is a small act of love for our community. It's about taking pride in where we live, fostering a sense of collective responsibility, and showing the world that Stockton is a city that cares. So, let's grab our gloves, put on our most comfortable shoes, and get ready to beautify Stockton, one piece of trash at a time. Stockton, the future is in your hands. So there you have it, folks. 12 powerful strategies to engage your community in activism and make a real difference in Stockton. Now I know what you're thinking, Cord, that's a lot of information. I'm exhausted just thinking about it, and to that I say fair enough. Changing the world is tiring work, but here's the thing, you don't have to do it all at once. Start small, find an issue you're passionate about, and take action. Remember, the key to successful community engagement is building trust, fostering collaboration, and maintaining open communication. It's about listening to your neighbors, understanding their concerns, and working together to find solutions that benefit everyone. It's about remembering that we're all in this together and that even small acts of kindness, compassion, and civic engagement can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. Your dedication and passion for making a difference will undoubtedly inspire others to join you in this important journey. Let's keep the momentum going and make a lasting impact on Stockton together.